A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Myself, Vaibhav. Today, we are seeing the risk-averse sentiments prevailing in the broader market. The key equity indices in Europe are all trading lower with the losses in the vicinity of half a percentage point. The US equity indices are almost flat for the day with slight up move from yesterday's lows. Given accentuating energy crisis in the European economies, I think bears are going to have the upper hand for next couple of sessions. We will be trying to capitalize on the bearishness in DAX in particular. After consolidation of last few days, the time is seemingly right for further decline on the lower side. Today, the data calendar was rather full with plenty of economic releases for major countries around the world. We will be limiting ourselves to the few major data points which are related to the instruments which we are considering for the technical analysis. For Euro area, we got the industrial production numbers for the month of July. It has risen 1.5% in terms of month on month and 7.7% in terms of year on year. After the decline of 0.1% in terms of month on month seen in the month of July, the industrial production rising again in the month of July is reassuring sign that economic recovery is holding well in the euro area. Moving to the North American trading session, we saw light crude oil prices shooting higher well before the release of the inventory data by EIA. The market participants' anticipation of decline in inventories was quite on point with more than expected drawdown of 6.42 million barrels being reported by the EIA for the WTI crude oil inventories for the week ended 10th of September. Disruption caused by hurricane is also having a major impact on these decline in inventories. This is likely to add fuel to the light crude oils already red had rally. We are pretty much counting on it to continue this up move, and in course of time I think it is likely to breach the level of US dollar 75 per barrel in coming days. Now let's turn to the technical side. We will consider the outlook first for the DAX, which is the leading equity index for the Germany. Afterwards, we will also take a look on the commodity side, where the instrument of choice is light crude oil. So let's start with the DAX technical outlook. First, we consider the daily time frame price formation. Here you can see that the DAX struggled closer to the 16,000 level for many days. I think it spent most part of the August and early part of September stuck between this narrow range, just little above the 15,700 on the lower side, and on the higher side its gains were kept around 16,000. Now this level has been breached and it looks likely we can expect the DAX to continue on this corrective path. And if we consider the prior swing low, that's kind of far away. It is almost 700 points from current price, and even if we don't have to wait for that long, I think in near term we can count on the DAX to continue this bearishness, and this price of around 15,500 is most likely to be tested again. So we will be looking for trading opportunities, the optimum entry and exit points where we can minimize our risk and try to optimize the profit. For that, mostly we will have to rely on this lower time frame formation where we have both these technical parameters, the regression curve along with the pivot point formation pointing southward. If we consider the central pivot point, which is there around 15,800, it has acted as the major resistance for most part of this week. In today's session also, the DX upward momentum was kept closer to it, and as the US session began, we saw the bears gaining the upper hand and pushing the DX lower, and now this first support of this month's pivot point series is likely to be reached again, and this time around I am expecting it to be broken on the lower side, and in course of time there is a second support which is almost 400 points away from the current valuations can also be expected to be reached. So here the opportunity is quite good if we simply go with a stop loss above the central pivot point, which is going to get us the risk reward ratio also as per our requirement of more than 1 is to 2. If suppose the entry point is going to be closer to 15,700, in that case the stop loss at the max will be of around 100 to 150 pips depending on what the exact price point chosen. And on the lower side we will have to make sure that the target price is almost or at least 300 points away, so we will have to target a move towards this immediate swing low. And if we consider these three SMAs converging closer to the 15,700, we have more reasons to believe in these resistance holding well, and we can count on these three SMAs to act as the strong resistance. We can keep the stop loss just little above it while looking for entry anywhere in this price band of 15,700 to 15,650. And on the lower side, as I said, we will have to go for the target price of around 300 points. In that case, we will have to wait for the DAX to decline toward this prior swing low or even beyond that. So that is going to get us the risk reward ratio of 1 is to 2. Moving to the light crude oil's technical formation, we have seen the light crude oil continuing its upward gain after this breakout above the price level of $70 per barrel. And if we consider this prior swing high, which is there around $77, we can pretty much count on the light crude oil to continue its gains. And if we have to go for any trade, it should be on the long side. It will be better if we keep our trading preference on the buy side for next couple of days unless and until there is any significant breakout on the lower side. And if we simply go with the trend, we will have many trading opportunities even in today's session. After this long consolidation, I think the opportunity was there to buy around the price levels of $71. Now if you have missed out on that, you will have to wait a while here, as we have already seen sharp gains in the light crude oil prices. And now that it is approaching the first resistance of this month's pivot point series, it will be difficult for us to look for new trade entries. But still, as traders, ours is the job to keep an eye on the price formation, and in course of time, the opportunities are likely to arise. The regression curve is now inclining higher, and it is likely to steepen if we see the momentum strengthening for the light crude oil prices. And as I said, this first resistance is likely to be reached, and even beyond that, the light crude oil prices can be expected to rise. And if we consider the daily time frame formation, the next target seems like the $77 or beyond that for a barrel. And mostly we will have to rely on the lower time frame formation to optimize our entry and exit. And that means we are left with this immediate price action, where we can continue to expect this bear bullishness to prevail. And if we have to rely on any prior price formation, then I think these breakout levels should be considered as a immediate marker. As long as the light crude oil prices are holding well above this prior swing high, we can be fairly confident of continuation of this bullishness in the light crude oil prices. The entry point should be kept as close as possible to this price level of $71 per barrel. And that means we will have to wait a while here. I think if not in today's session, maybe after some consolidation, if we get any trade opportunities in tomorrow's session, if we get some corrective momentum, some corrective move from the current levels, and if we are fortunate enough to get entry anywhere closer to this prior swing high, then that opportunity should be exploited while keeping the stop loss little below this 100 SMA range, which is there around $70. So that entails us the risk of around $1 per barrel. And on the higher side, we can expect the bullishness to continue. And as I said, the near-term target is going to be closer to $75. And if you are willing to wait, even the prior swing high from a couple of weeks back around $77 can be expected to be breached, but that is likely to take time. And in near term, the immediate price target can be kept closer to $75. So that's my take looking at the current price formation of the light crude oil. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. For further coverage of the market developments, you can join in at the Cosco Analytics page. To starting to trade, the JForex platform provides excellent low-cost environment. We are also available on the Facebook. Do reach out to us there. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous time ahead. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.